guys, and happy new year. Really excited. So today is the second. This is the first vlog of 2023. Oh my goodness, become a coffee. So today I wanted to do something fun. I haven't watched two movies. One is pretty late, like I'm really jumping onto the bandwagon later on, but I've watched so many reviews and interviews from the cast. That is the second Wakanda movie. And then the other movie that I haven't watched that has really come out, and I was watching its reviews yesterday from Kate Winslet, and I really loved it, is Avatar: The Way of the Water. So I'm heading out to IMAX right now to go watch that. Okay, right now, like after this, I'm going to have brunch because brunch, and then we go watch those two movies. I will debate depending on the time that I will be having. I might watch one, then the other one I watch over the weekend, but I'm going to watch both, I guess, God willing. And then I come back home, and then we do a sit-down video of the lessons that I've learned from 2022 that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my adulting life. Oh, and fun fact, I saved myself something. Ni kitanda yangu, sorry, tunaizunguka sana. The lighting. Oh, those are my wigs. They're my wigs. I have my glasses. We're about to do this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we are back. I know I left you. I feel like my hands are really dry. I'm not advertising Nivea. As if I could. But I know I left you saying I've gone to watch a movie, which I did. Oh, I watched both. Ended up watching both. And my brother was my date for the day. It was fun, amazing, emotional. Being an overthinker, I'm highly imaginative. So watching a movie at the theater is one of the activities that I really love doing, because I will be taken to a world and I will grasp whatever emotion that the script writers and the actors wanted me to grasp. I'm very expressive. And I think this time around to Kenda Cinema, I was allowed to be expressive, like as expressive as I would want, you know? And I loved the crowd that was there, because sometimes there's a time I went to a cinema, and when you're making like, like being expressive with the emotions, someone telling you, don't tell us. So this is my notebook. I got this lovely notebook. It's written, art has no definition. Look at that design. Guess I got it, Naivas. I've realized that they're upping their notebook game. And if you like writing like me, oh gosh, you don't even need to go to Miniso. Naivas can still hook you up, though Miniso dresses, of course. So yeah, I have a collection. It's not time to but yeah. So I wrote the first page of the book. I wrote a note to myself, and the note says, "This is for your thoughts and feelings to help you filter them. Think of it as a form of therapy. May this gift be useful to you when you need it most." I love that. I really want, this is just me putting it out there, I really want in my life to even make like a treasure box where I put all these things. I have notebooks that I've had since high school. I really want to put them, because one, of course, I will write a book, and I want something to reference so that I can capture the emotion as it was at that particular time. I do have a blog, yes, which I do write like short snippets of what the whole book will be like. This is me putting it out there. Feel free to hold me accountable for what I've just said. Yes. And if you haven't, you can just go check my blog post. It's my name, just the other thing, So, lessons from 2022. Number 1, do not take criticism from people you don't take advice from. Yeah, people who you haven't have that kind of a relationship where you've opened that door where they can advise you. You have no business taking criticism from them. Number 2, fill or pour into your cup first before giving to others. I noticed this because I recently did a personality test and I found mine is an advocate, INFJ. Of course, in there's being an introvert and being intuitive and whatever. And most of, because I took time to read in depth the character, like you break down how does this individual behave in certain scenarios, and I found out for me, I'm a giver, and sometimes you can run yourself dry, so it's very important for you to keep knowing that you have to replenish your cup all the time for you to be able to pour into others. Number 4, be intentional about your evolution and growth. Your body is the longest relationship you will ever have. This physical being where you're inhabiting. So be intentional about your growth. What do you want to achieve? Set it, like write it down. Habakkuk 2 from 2 to 3 says you write down the vision, you write it down, and of course at its appointed time it will come to fruition. But you have to, the first step about being proactive with your dreams is putting them down on pen and paper. In your financial life, what do you want to achieve? In your emotional side, in your relationship aspect, in your faith, you have to learn to be intentional in investing in those areas of your life for you to grow. That's number 5. Success equals discipline and consistency. This cannot be overemphasized. No amount of manifesting or meditation will all of a sudden magically conjure up your dreams and you find yourself living in them. And for the most part, when we watch those kind of videos, what they fail to tell you is the journey that got them to where it is that they are eventually. And I will not lie, it is discipline and consistency. And I know it's so difficult to be a disciplined individual. Even me, I'm still learning that lesson. I'm trying to be intentional about developing discipline in my life. Number 6, you're not your job. You're not your job. You cannot let your professional life occupy 99% of your life. You have to be a balanced individual. Again, this means if you're doing a 9 to 5, that period of being 9 to 5, be intentional about the time and the effort and the work that you're doing. Do it. Don't carry work at home. When you need to hang out with your friends, make time for family. You have to learn to be a balanced individual. Number 7, your worth is enshrined in your identity, not material possessions or titles. Me, as Rose, I am not, or my worth is not derived from what do I have in my bank account, what investments do I have, what assets do I have, what is my job title, what did I go to school to study, which university did I even attend. You're a spiritual being having a physical or human experience, and that in itself cannot be profoundly fathomed. You can't explain it. It's magnificent. It's brilliant. And guess the fun part? Even if you're still discovering things about yourself that you didn't know, in itself, it's an adventure. So your identity, knowing that God made you, you're His, He has said you're the apple of His eye, He protects you. I mean, that alone should make you feel worthy. So when you're questioning your worth, go back to where your identity stems from. Number 8, you are chosen because you're worthy, and you're worthy because you're chosen. Like Esther, you have been called for such a time as this. Period. Meaning, lesson number 9 then, occupy your space fully in every opportunity given. You were given that opportunity not by mistake. It doesn't matter how you landed in that opportunity. Oh yeah, my friend, you need to boldly walk and accomplish every task that is required of you. Number 10, create boundaries always and always walk away from toxic people and environment for your peace sake. What I mean by this is where you cannot walk away, because again, you cannot solely live your life canceling people, cutting off. There's some interactions that you will have and you will realize in your adulting life that you cannot burn down bridges. You cannot completely live. You're not an island. Our relationships and interactions with people are interdependent and dependent. Therefore, you can't keep cutting off people. So where you cannot walk away, even your job, you can't keep moving from one job to the other, So you need to learn to have boundaries in spaces where those relationships are fundamental in your life. Number 11, celebrate every step taken, every achievement, every milestone. Celebrate it, because guess what? You're here. You're fighting. Resilient one. Lesson number 12. Closed doors are blessings and redirection to greater and better opportunities. However painful that door was, no, it was shut to protect you. It was shut to redirect you to something better. There is no need for you to keep wasting your time moping and begging for that door to be opened. It was closed because God needed for it to be closed. Lesson number 13. Do not give weight to people's opinions of what you ought to do, especially those who are not called into the same space as you, those who don't understand what your calling, what your gift, what your dream is, and those who have not even achieved theirs. Those are opinions you have no business giving audience. Lesson number 14. No. I really love how I said it. No is a complete sentence that requires no justification. I've learned that through therapy, and for the love of me, I love that. I love it. Having discovered that, I love it. I don't care how old I am to have discovered that lesson. Point is, I discovered it, period. Number 15. As a woman, your power is in your femininity. Embrace it. God didn't make any mistake to make you female. So I know in the world that we're living in, how fast-paced it is, how ruthless it is. Sometimes we are, and mostly in our workplaces, we tend to feel like we're still fighting for our rights. And we tend to be more operating in masculine energy. But I have learned in this past year, you being gentle tends to persuade others to do things quite easily, and things tend to run smoothly without you being forceful about them. Number 16, standards act as guidelines on how others ought to treat you. You don't need to live this life without knowing anything. You need to give people a blueprint of how to treat you. You can voice it or show them by example. Number 17, naysayers are damaged dreamers. So don't let them discourage you. People tend to project a lot of themselves into your situations. And a side note, by the way, if you hear noises, there's a construction happening behind our home, so bear with me. Lesson number 18. God has given you power and authority to be and to do everything you want and hope to achieve. So rest in that. Remind yourself that. When you feel like you're forgetting, please remind yourself that. You've been given all power and authority to be and to do what you were created to do and to be. Lesson number 19. This was a big one. Learn from patterns of behavior. It reveals a lot about people. You know them by their fruits. That's a scripture. It says, and you shall know them by their fruits. But I've really learned to really study patterns in how people carry themselves, what they say, what they do. That has informed my creation of boundaries, my choosing that this relationship is not serving me. It's not, we are not going anywhere. So I don't see what it is that I'm doing consistently encouraging this, or you can tell that this person is not pouring into you as much as you're pouring into them, or you can learn that they're using you, taking you for granted, taking advantage of you, or not bestowing the accurate measurement of worth in your life for you, meaning they're devaluing you in how they're treating you. So I've learned that you learn from patterns of behavior. They will inform you a lot and save you a lot. Number 20, be honest unapologetically. Do not fail to speak up truthfully at your own expense. And also, honesty. Being an honest, trustworthy, and reliable person will get you to spaces that you didn't think possible. When you look at the pyramid scheme of success, those are the tier. There's one time I met a multi-millionaire in this country, and I just asked him one question. What is it that is required for one to get from the bottom and operate at the top? He told me Of course, endeavor to be at the top. There's a lot of fresh air here. It's not you're fighting for resources here. There are a plethora of resources at the top. But in the same breath, learn that your reputation is what will sustain you here. What your character is what will sustain you and keep getting you more opportunities with the people who are at the top tier. So endeavor to make sure you're that kind of an individual who can be relied upon, because most people with a lot of wealth are surrounded by people who want to use them. So if you can separate yourself and become the 1% that is required by the 1% of the society, you've gotten yourself into a space, you've created a niche for yourself, essentially. Lesson number 21, and this was very personal to me. And it says, Rose, your intuition and instincts are spot on. Trust them. And I don't need to explain how big of a lesson it is, but I've learned that I do not need evidence to corroborate, because every time I've always questioned. Rather, in the past, I would have a feeling about a person, and I would inquire, what do you think I'm feeling ABCD XYZ about this and this? And oftentimes the feedback that I got was accurate. So now I'm beginning to embody that. Indeed, I have good instincts and intuition regarding things and people. So I'm going to trust that. Lesson number 22, which is the last lesson I learned, is about mindfulness, meaning you have to be mindful of the thoughts that are crisscrossing in your head. And one trick that I learned recently is observing your thoughts and counting from backwards, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It helps you be able to be in the present. So I'm really excited to see what this new chapter, this new season of life has in store for me. So with that, I bid you adieu. See you on the next one. Bye.